Hello, my name is Sophie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking you through all the books on my February TBR. I had 10 books on my January TBR and I read a grand total of 3 of them, and then finished one more in the first week of February, but in terms of the January TBR I read 3 of them in the month of January. Have I learned anything from this and made a shorter February TBR? No, because my monthly TBRs are what I call a functional TBR, not because I don't think anyone else's TBR is functional, but because mine has a function, it has a purpose, therefore I call it a functional TBR. And that function is that I want to make the most of all the subscription services I'm paying for, whether it be Audible, Kindle Unlimited, like a monthly recurring subscription, or like a subscription box. I have Illumicrate and Afterlight. So my goal is that this TBR holds me accountable for which services I'm using, which services I'm not, and I'm considering cancelling a couple of them, but we'll get to that at the end of the video. So my TBR is made up of these categories. My book club book, which is based on when my husband and I got married, we asked our guests to gift us a copy of their favourite book, so we have a little library of our favourite people's favourite books, and in an endeavour to read them all, we take it in turns to pick one and read it each month. And then the subsidiary of that is that my mum gave us a box set of the famous 5 books, so I'm reading one of those a month, because I don't really want to binge read 10 famous 5 books in one go, so I thought one a month would be a nice way to do that. So that's books 1 and 2, the book club and the famous 5. Books 3 and 4 is that I want to read 2 books from Kindle Unlimited, because 1 just feels like I'm breaking even on how much I'm spending on KU, 2 feels like I'm profiting. Girl math, book math, whatever you want to call it, don't try and apply logic because it's not going to work. And the same applies to Audible. I try to read 2 Audible books every month, try being the operative word. So that takes us up to 6 books. The next category I have is any new releases that I've gone to the effort of pre-ordering, because if I've gone to the effort of pre-ordering it and I'm that excited about it, it deserves to be read straight away, and I don't want to add it to my never-ending TBR. So trying to read those new releases straight away. Was that 7? I think that was 7. Then I have my Illumicrate subscription. I think they're exclusively fantasy books, but don't hold me to that. I have an Illumicrate subscription, so I want to read that book. I have an Afterlight subscription, which is a subsidiary of Illumicrate, but exclusively romance and not exclusively fantasy. So that's my romance subscription box. Then in the last category, we've made it up to 10 books now. I'm trying to read 2 books off my 24 in 2024 list every month. Because 24 is divisible by 12, it makes it nice and easy. If I can read 2 a month, I can get through the whole list. I didn't read either of my January picks, but we can play catch up. It's fine, it's fine, it's all going to be fine. Though I've done some mixing around. So whilst that list of categories lists 11 books minimum, I've made some of the books count for 2 categories. So let's just go through them. I've spent too long explaining anyway. So my book club book for this month is Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly. I don't know anything about this book, but it calls to me, and it has called to me since we opened it. And we got married in November 2022, so it's been close to a year and a half now. But this is the book club book for this month. It's nearly or over 500 pages long. It's got a bibliography, which scares me a little bit. 472 pages. So it's longer than I thought it was, because it doesn't feel like it should be that long, but it is. But that's my book club pick for this month. Then the famous 5 book for this month is book 2 in the series, because it's the 2nd month of the year. I didn't get round to reading book 1 in January, but I did finish it in the first week of February, so at least I'm kind of on track for that. So book 2 in the series is called 5 Go Adventuring Again. Very simple. This one's relatively short, so hopefully I'll be able to get through it a bit quicker. We love a quick win on the TBR. Then my KU picks for this month. One of them has rolled over from last month because I didn't get around to reading it, and then I've got 1 new pick. So the one rolled over from last month is Beastly by Alex Flynn. Again, I have read this before as a teenager, but I want to reread it to see if I want to keep this book in my collection or whether it's one that I can donate. Every time I pick it up, I remember how floppy it is and how satisfying that is. But I'm going to read it on Kindle Unlimited because it is available on KU. So we're working on the backlog and using KU at the same time. The other book on my KU list for this month is The Library by Bella Osborne. I picked this up from a garden centre, 2 for £5. Is that going to focus? There it is. Got it 2 for £5. What a good deal. And I just haven't got around to reading it. This feels like it's going to be a really nice, cosy, contemporary story about friendship, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. or attempting to. Then the new release that I pre-ordered this month, I was very lucky to find in a Waterstones 2 days before release, so I cancelled my pre-order and bought it in person instead. But that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which I have already started reading. I think I'm nearly 30% of the way through, and I'm already having a fantastic time. I love Ali Hazelwood. I love a fantasy romance. I don't know what the difference is between fantasy and paranormal. I'm not sure what makes this paranormal rather than fantasy, but it's listed as a paranormal romance. But I love Ali Hazelwood's writing style, and it's always comforting and nice to come back to. So thoroughly enjoying this and looking forward to finishing it as well. Oh, I missed out my Audible books. Both of my Audible books for this month are carried over from last month because I started listening to The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, which is a 28-hour audiobook, and I'm still figuring out ways to spend more time listening to audiobooks because I normally almost exclusively listen to them while I'm driving, but I'm not driving anywhere at the moment. I normally do at least once a month a trip to either visit my parents or my sibling, who both live at least 2 hours away from me, so the round trip is a solid 4 hours of listening time. But either I've not really gone anywhere, but also if I have, I've gone with my husband and he doesn't really want to listen to my audiobook in the car, so I'm still trying to figure out ways to listen to my audiobook more. I've tried listening to it at the gym while I'm on the treadmill, but I find if I listen to it whilst I'm doing my workout, I can't count my reps as well. Can't count and listen at the same time. Don't read too far into it because it makes me feel more stupid than I already feel. I did have quite a nice afternoon just sitting, playing some stupid games on my phone and listening to the end of a chapter just on my bed the other day. So yeah, working on finding more ways to bring listening to audiobooks into my day-to-day life. So I'm still listening to The Name of the Wind, and I would still like to listen to Culty by Mariana Zapata, because I have The Name of the Wind sequel, The Wise Man's Fear, but I'm struggling enough to listen to a 28-hour audiobook. So you bring in the 42-hour audiobook, it's definitely not going to happen in 1 month unless I start driving up to Scotland every other day. So we'll see how that goes. But those are my two Audible picks for this month: The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss and Culty by Mariana Zapata. Then for the two books that are on my 24 in 2024 list, The Name of the Wind is one of them, so that's where the crossover lies. It counts as an Audible book and my 24 in 2024. And then the other book is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. I did start this, but then I found Bride early, so I put it down to start reading Bride, but I already hate the writing style of this. The narrative style is just... the narrative voice, I should say, I just find quite cringy. But the audiobook is available on BookBeat, which I'm currently using a free trial of, so I can get through it. The audiobook I think is 9 hours and something, so listening to that a little bit faster, I'm currently listening at like 1.2, 1.5 speed, I can get through it relatively quickly. And I feel like because it's on my 24 in 2024, I should give the whole book a chance. And then if I don't like it, I get to get rid of it. Pros and cons each way, but at the moment I've soft DNF'd it and I really don't know if I'm going to find the inclination to pick it up again. Then the last two books on my list are my Illumicrate and my Afterlight subscription books. From Illumicrate this month we've got Voyage of the Damned by Frances White in this special edition with these sprayed edges, which personally I think are quite underwhelming. I think the Waterstones special edition edges are prettier than this, but just my opinion. This is the Illumicrate book. I'm not too enthralled by the caption. I think I'm just at a kind of, I think I'm just feeling a bit uninspired by my Illumicrate books, because this is the 5th one I've got. I've managed to read 2 out of the 5 I've received so far, obviously including this one, which I've not read yet, and I've rated The Principle of Moments 2 stars and A Study in Drowning 3 stars, so I think I'm just figuring out that Illumicrate books just aren't really for me. So this is kind of the last chance for me. 468 pages, which is a lot, and it's a big heavy hardback, so I might see if it's on KU, but otherwise yeah, feeling a bit fed up with Illumicrate at the moment. But Afterlight I'm really excited about. The Afterlight book for this month is at first, not for this month. The other thing I should explain is that these are both the January books for Illumicrate and Afterlight, because they don't ship their subscriptions until right at the end of the month. I received Voyage of the Damned I think literally in like the last 3 days of the month, and then after first it was at First Spite didn't even arrive, it wasn't even shipped until the beginning of February. So these are both the January subscription books, but obviously because they arrived so late in the month / early into the following month, I put them on the following month's TBR. So this is the January Afterlight book. It's one that I'd already heard of and was already excited about. This cover is stunning. Look at the sprayed edges. They are just beautiful. And then the top and the bottom have this like beautiful kind of cloud watercolor kind of pattern. I'm obsessed. I'm really excited, and I was excited about the premise of this book anyway, so really looking forward to reading that one. And that is everything I hope to be reading in February. Considering I read a total of 5 books in January, maybe a 10-book TBR is a bit ambitious, but we're just gonna try our best because that's all we can do. So yeah, I'm currently reading Bride, really enjoying it. Then I think I probably will jump back into the cheat sheet and just finish it for the sake of finishing it, because I'm just not someone who can DNF a book. I could do a whole video on why I just can't DNF books. Lots of exciting books to jump into for the rest of the month. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you later this week for a weekly reading vlog. Bye!